A DEA officer stopped at a ranch in Texas and talked with an old rancher. He told the rancher, "I need to inspect your ranch for illegally grown drugs." The rancher said, "Okay, but don't go in that field over there," as he pointed out the location. The DEA officer verbally exploded, saying, "Mister, I have the authority of the federal government with me." Reaching into his rear pants pocket, he removed his badge and proudly displayed it to the rancher. "See this badge? This badge means I am allowed to go wherever I wish, on any land. No questions asked. Do you understand?" The rancher nodded politely, apologized, and went about his chores. A short time later, the old rancher heard loud screams, looked up, and saw the DEA officer running for his life, being chased by the rancher's big Santa Gertrudis bull. With every step, the bull was gaining ground on the officer, and it seemed likely that he'd sure enough get gored before he reached safety. The officer was clearly terrified. The rancher threw down his tools, ran to the fence, and yelled at the top of his lungs, "Your badge? Show him your badge!" One day, a man was waking along the beach when he tripped over a lamp. He turned around and kicked the lamp out of anger. A few seconds later, a genie popped out of the lamp. Reluctantly, the genie said, "Even though you kicked me, I still have to give you 3 wishes. However, because of what you did, I will also give twice what you wish for to the person you hate the most, your boss." So the man agreed and made his first wish. "I want lots of money," he said. Instantly, $22 million appeared in the man's bank account, and $44 million appeared in his boss's account. For his second wish, the man wished for a couple of sports cars. Instantly, a Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Porsche appeared. At the same time, 2 of each car appeared outside of his boss's house. Finally, the genie said, "This is your last wish. You should choose carefully." And to this, the man replied, "I've always wanted to donate a kidney." Late one night, a man is driving down the road speeding quite a bit. A cop notices how fast he is going and pulls him over. The cop says to the man, "Are you aware of how fast you were going?" The man replies, "Yes, I am. I'm trying to escape a robbery I got involved in." The cop gives him a skeptical look and says, "Were you the one being robbed?" The man casually replies, "No, I committed the robbery." The cop looks shocked that the man admitted this. "So you're telling me you were speeding and committed a robbery?" "Yes," the man calmly says. "I have the loot in the back." The cop begins to get angry. "Sir, I'm afraid you have to come with me." The cop reaches in the window to subdue the man. "Don't do that!" The man yells fearfully. "I'm scared you will find the gun in my glove compartment." The cop pulls his hand out. "Wait here," he says. The cop calls for backup. Soon cops, cars, and helicopters are flooding the area. The man is cuffed quickly and taken towards a car. However, before he gets in, a cop walks up to him and says, while gesturing to the cop that pulled him over, "Sir, this officer informed us that you had committed a robbery, had stolen loot in the trunk of your car, and had a loaded gun in your glove compartment. However, we found none of these things in your car." The man replies, "Yeah, and I bet that liar said I was speeding too." A newlywed couple moves into their new house. One day, the husband comes home from work, and his wife says, "Honey, you know, in the upstairs bathroom, one of the pipes is leaking. Could you fix it?" The husband says, "What do I look like, Mr. Plumber?" A few days go by, and he comes home from work, and his wife says, "Honey, the car won't start. I think it needs a new battery. Could you change it for me?" He says, What do I look like, Mr. Goodwrench? Another few days go by, and it's raining pretty hard. The wife finds a leak in the roof. She says, "Honey, there's a leak on the roof. Can you please fix it?" He says, "What do I look like, Bob Vila?" The next day, the husband comes home, and the roof is fixed. So is the plumbing and the car. He asks his wife what happened. "Oh, I had a handyman come in and fix them," she says. "Great. How much is that going to cost me?" He snarls. Wife says, "Nothing. He said he'd do it for free if I either baked him a cake or slept with him." Well, what kind of cake did you make?" asks the husband. "What do I look like?" She says, "Betty Crocker." I was having trouble with my computer, so I called Joseph, the 14-year-old next door, whose bedroom looks like mission control, and asked him to come over. Joseph clicked a couple of buttons and solved the problem. As he was walking away, I called after him, "So, what was wrong?" He replied, "It was an ID10T error." I didn't want to appear stupid, but nonetheless inquired, "An ID10T error? What's that? In case I need to fix it again?" Joseph grinned. "Haven't you ever heard of an ID10T error before?" "No," I replied. "Write it down," he said, "and I think you'll figure it out." So I wrote down ID10T. All of the organs are deciding who should be in charge. "I should be in charge," said the brain. "I run all the body's systems. Without me, nothing would happen." "I should be in charge," said the heart. "I circulate oxygen and nutrients all over." "No, I should be in charge," said the stomach. "I process the food that gives us energy." "I should be in charge," said the legs. "Without me, the body couldn't go anywhere." "I should be in charge," said the eyes. "I allow the body to see where it goes." "I should be in charge," said the ass. "I am responsible for waste removal." All of the other body parts laughed at the ass and insulted him. So he shut down. Within a few days, the brain had a terrible headache, the stomach was bloated, the legs got wobbly, the eyes got watery, and the heart pumped toxic blood. They all decided that the ass should be the boss. What is the moral of the story? Even though everybody else does all of the work, the asshole is usually in charge. Passengers on a small plane are waiting for the flight to leave. They're getting a little impatient, but the airport staff assures them the pilots will be there soon, and then the flight can take off. Finally, the entrance opens, and two men dressed in pilots' uniforms walk up the aisle. Both are wearing dark glasses. One is using a guide dog, and the other is tapping his way along the aisle with a white cane. Nervous laughter spreads through the cabin, but the men enter the cockpit, the door closes, and the engines start up. The passengers begin glancing nervously around, searching for some sign that this is just a little practical joke. None is forthcoming. The plane moves faster and faster down the runway, and the people sitting in the window seats realize they're headed straight for the water at the edge of the airport territory. As it begins to look as though the plane will plow into the water, panicked screams fill the cabin. At that moment, the plane lifts smoothly into the air. The passengers relax and laugh a little sheepishly, and soon all retreat into their magazines, secure in the knowledge that the plane really is in good hands. Meanwhile, in the cockpit, the pilot turns to the co-pilot and says, "You know, Jim, one of these days, they're going to scream too late, and we're all going to die." My friends, if you want to watch other funny jokes, subscribe to the channel.